Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tar Zone. You know, I believe in a thing called karma. I believe those who do bad deeds will eventually get what's coming to them. And today, it looks like, by the way, this looks like this is being swept under the carpet and kept quiet amongst themselves for the last couple of days. But it turns out that our good friend Tom Vance has now become one of those cancelled people. We have statements from podcasts that he used to represent, and we've also got other information as well. Now, what is this all about? People are going to ask, what is he being cancelled for? Well, I'm still trying to get the whole picture here. And what it seems to be is he had, according to himself, his own words, he had a violent outburst on social media. Now, apparently, this is funny, by the way. So do you all know the girl that for the last 2 years that has been accused of me of setting up all these fake accounts and doing all of this vile stuff? And, you know, myself and Lee and others have proved that this is all troll accounts, nothing to do with me. Well, that very same girl has now come out and accused Tom of basically, by the sounds of what I've been getting, of being very, basically being misogynistic towards her. And it hasn't gone down well with people. Now, the ironic thing about it is, and the funny thing about all of this is that all the people that have come out and supported Tom over the last year have all now come out against him, right? Now, when I've been telling these people what Tom has been capable of doing, what Tom has done, with the time that he actually put up that video of his so-called dad, and he called myself, Ballstreck, and others out, right? Okay, we showed all these tweets, all the stuff he was saying about me. You've all seen what he has been doing to Rabbi, right? He said that account, NutMyDoctor, Nut, up on Twitter. I said that from day one when that account was set up, that's when the toxicity in this fandom actually got worse. Because that guy, along with other people that were running that site, were taking screenshots of so-called NutMyDoctors, as they labeled us all, and were posting them up for people to see. And then that was getting their supporters then to go and harass people like myself because of the things that we were saying, because Tom doesn't like what people say. Remember, I said from day one that this guy was bad news, right? And you all came out and supported him. And by the way, I have a few of those tweets of people coming out and supporting him at when he was doing all of this vile stuff. And I will be mentioning people that have supported this guy, because you know what? You aren't going to get away with this just because you have all come out against them today. We've been telling you this for the last year, and you aren't getting away with this either. So this isn't just about Tom or the Twitter account. It's about all you people as well that came out and supported this fucking scumbag. When I told you that he was a scumbag, I told you that he was a toxic person, right? I told you all, right? And I'm telling you now, all the stuff that he was accusing me of, and all the stuff that he was doing, right, was a vendetta against me, because I knew what this guy was like. I've tried to expose this guy loads of times by showing people, but you all came out and supported him. But now that he's done it to a woman, now that he's done it to one he's our own, you will come out and say something now, right? Bullying is bullying. Harassment is harassment, right? Telling people whatever, right? is bang out of order. The things that he's done over these past few months, right? I'm surprised that this is only coming now. Again, as I said, when it's one of their own, they will act, right? But if it's one of us, they won't say nothing. They will follow it. They'll support them. They'll support them. And I will be showing you some of the people that supported them because, you know, these people lately have come out against me, right? So I want to hear you our excuse. I want to hear you our excuse now when I show you our tweets. By the way, everything that I show up on this channel, I just want to make it clear. Everything that I throw up on this channel is public, right? It's public on Twitter, so everybody can see it already, okay? So everything that I do show you on this channel tonight is already out there in the public. The reason why I'm highlighting it on this channel is because I want their side to know what exactly is being going on. And these people, by the way, have been very quiet about it. They've been putting out their little statements. But I've noticed, right, an account last night, some of you will see, there was an account on Twitter last night that was trolling myself. I put up the screenshots. This person last night was defending Tom Vance, right? And now it's come out today that Tom Vance has been a very naughty boy and been doing things in the fandom apparently that he shouldn't be doing. Now I will read. I have don't worry. I do have some screenshots. As I said, everything that I'm about to show on this channel is already public on Twitter. So I'm just going to make this clear. As you have already put it up, as it's already public, right? You can't do anything about it. All I'm doing is just highlighting the people that supported this guy, because you aren't getting away with it either. This isn't just about Tom. This is about all you guys that supported him, right? When those people from Big Finish supported him after he did the video with his dad, and me and my friends came out and defended me and the other guys that he was having a go at. What did he do? He went and blabbed off to people like Sophia, Mr. Cardis Reviews, and Ben Cook, and all of them. And they all got a hashtag. Remember his hashtag? They got Tom Vance hashtag going. These are the same people, folks. These are the same people. They supported this guy for over a year, right? I've been telling them what he's been up to. But again, I had to take him to do it to one of their own before they would actually even consider doing anything about it. They're sick. They're vile as well because they know what he's like. They do. They know what he's like, and they let him away with it. They let him away with it. When we told them that the NutMyDoctor account, the Nut account, was a toxic account, right? That this account was generating more toxicity, right? The only reason why we've had this level of toxicity is because of that account. Because if you go back to before that account was set up, yes, was the fandom toxic? Yeah, it was. I'm not going to sit here and say it wasn't. Was it as toxic as it is right now? No, it got worse when that account was set up. By the way, the other person behind that account has also put out a statement. I have their statement as well. I also have a statement from a podcast that he's involved in. They are now going to remove every single podcast that it involves Tom Vance. So they've taken action. Well, as I said, Shrek Swag, I don't have all the details of what he actually done, right? So I'm not going to accuse him of what you've called perviness there when I don't have any evidence to back that up, right? I'm only talking about the toxicity of this man, and I'm talking about the things that he has done, and it has taken the other side for him to basically be toxic towards another woman, for them to do that or to call him out for his bull, when I've been calling him out for over a year since he set up that account with the other person. That I will read their statement, right? Okay, so I've been letting everybody know what this guy has been capable of. They wouldn't listen to me, right? Everybody in the chat will tell you as well. He's been going after me and Rabbi for months. Now he's focused mostly on Rabbi now, obviously over the last couple of weeks and months. But he had a real focus on this channel. He had a real focus on my Twitter account. He was taking screen grabs of me conversations, or the user conversations in the chat there. He was actually lifting clips as well of me streams. This guy, right? I'm just talking about, look at, I've experienced the ugly side of Tom Vance. I know what this guy is capable of, and I'm pretty sure, right? And I'm pretty sure now, if the other side actually had the bottle, if you actually dug a little bit deeper, you will probably find more, right? There'll probably be more people that will come forward, because this man, I'm telling you, I said it from day one, there was something wrong with him, right? There is something wrong with him, and I'm going to show you why, right? I'll show you why, right? And as I said, everything I'm about to show you now is public, yeah? This is not me picking on anybody. This is me just highlighting what this person has done. I've always done that. I've defended myself against this guy, but apparently I'm the bully. Now he's after being exposed as one himself. And, you know, rightly, listen, I will say this. I'm not down with cancel culture whatsoever. I disagree with it 100%. I don't believe anybody should be cancelled in this day and age unless there is a legitimate reason to do so, right? Now, as I said, I don't have all the details right now. All I know is that right now people have made statements, people distancing themselves from Tom, and in his own words, which I've got a screenshot of, in his own words, he had a violent outburst, right? Which I will read. I have loads to read, just so don't worry. But I am going to show you a couple of. I'm going to start off with the very first screenshot. And the reason why I want to start with this one, because this will obviously give you an idea of what this guy is actually like, right? So for anybody that's not aware, if anybody is not aware of what this guy, how he thinks, his mind, you know. By the way, I just want to say I did put up a little birthday video for him, yeah? But I want you all to wish the one and only international legend. I'm sorry, Daniel, I forgot to actually mention that first. I want you to all give Daniel and wish him a very happy birthday. He's a legend. Love the guy. He's like a little brother. So, you know, go and subscribe to his channel as well. He's brilliant. But happy birthday, pal. And, you know, I only literally are up an hour because me and Cheryl are rotating with Ted. So I'll give you an update on Ted tomorrow, right? Because there's a lot to tell you, but you know, I'll explain to you tomorrow. But right, let's do this. I want to show you this, right? Because the reason why I'm showing this one first, right? Because I want you to get inside this guy's head. Right? There's a problem. What do you mean by get inside this guy's head? You will see what I mean. Right. So you could see that. Can't just, let's see. I'll just check the StreamYard there. Yeah, so you could see that. I'll read it out anyway. So I have covered this person's identity, right? Because this person is coming out against Tom. But there are some names that I will. Now, YouTubers and people that have come out against me won't be protected in this video. It's only people that haven't come after me, because I'm not that, you know, I don't target people. I actually don't target people at all. I only defend myself against bullies. But, you know, apparently I target people. So, bestiality, Tom Vance. Nah, he's such a weirdo. Like, what the fuck is this shit, right? And then Tom wrote on his account, yes, I fucked the dog. But let's be honest. Haven't we all? Now, I just wanted to start with that one to get kind of for you to get into the mind of this guy. Now, as I said, I will highlight people that have defended this guy. So this tweet was put up after Tom had done something again in the fandom, and after another this person that put up the tweet attacked me again. Even though they said they were ending their feud with me, they're still continuing to write shit about me. So in April 17th, Tyrese came out and supported Tom Vance. You can all the four horsemen of the apocalypse, according to Noel's on. This was after I came out against them, because every single one of those names there, all pathetic men, as I have said in the past. One has shown his true colors, and the other one there thinks he's big, but he's not. He likes to think of himself as a big streamer, and I don't care if this is public, so he could say whatever he wants. But he came out and defended this guy. He will obviously come out today, like the rest of them, come out with a stupid little statement, say that they're disgusted and horrified by Tom's behavior. But they all knew about what Tom was doing, because he's been doing it to me and others, the NutMyDoctor, as they called him, for the last year. So their excuses and their little statements mean absolutely nothing, because they know he's been doing it to me. Right? And you know what, guys, even if you deny that, well, I think I've proven it. I think it's been proved today or over the last couple of days, if it's been exposed, that he's been toxic to other people. So if he's toxic to them, then he's capable of being toxic to me. So yeah, so you know, this fella has an ego anyway. But I was right. These four here. Now, it's not him. I mean, he's only recently piped up. I don't know what his deal is, but it's because of him, because he keeps saying I'm talking about all of these people. But these three in particular, right? These three in particular, I've said it. These three go, fandom would be a lot better. One is gone. One is gone now, right? And he can't come back from this. It doesn't matter. The other side won't forgive him anyway, right? And even if it is the littlest thing that he's done, they won't. They won't, because they have to be seen to be coming out against all of this. See, this is what happens, you see. They've gotten themselves in so far now that they have to actually condemn this and condemn his behavior. So these people have defended him in the past. And by the way, Mr. TARDIS has defended Tom in the past, and the rest of them. So I just wanted to put that up there to let you know that this guy has been supported by these people. He's also was supported by Sophie Els. She's a creator, an animator, or something. Or she works for Big Finish, or she's connected. She came out and supported them, right? And when I tried to expose her supporting them, then I got threatened that she was going to get, well, it wasn't her, but someone that supported her said, well, you better leave her alone or inform her husband. I says, inform her husband all you want, right? She came out and she defended the bully. And that's what I said at the time. She's come out and defended the bully. So congratulations to you all. You all feel like right ticks now, because you should. You should. You all supported this guy. And you all condoned his behavior by supporting him. You should have called him out from day one. You didn't. You didn't. Now, we will go on to the next. We'll go to one of the statements. As I said, I'm going to make this clear. Don't have all the details. All I know is that he's done something, right? He's done something. Now, it could be as simple as, if I'm reading, it could be because he told this girl to shut the F up. Now, if it's only that and they've cancelled him for that, I'll say that's pathetic. But I will say to Tom, you reap what you sow, mate. I told you, you know, at the end of the day, right, I said it about that side. They'd eat their own babies, right, to get what they want, right? These people have no loyalties whatsoever. These people weren't loyal to Tom. They never were going to be loyal to Tom. They're all self-interest little idiots, right? They think of themselves, and they all think by coming out with their little statements today that they're gonna be get a pat on the back and say, "Oh, well, fair play to you for calling them out. You know, great that you called them out and all that. You should have called them out a year ago. You should have called them out a year ago when we were highlighting what he was like. That's when you should have actually done it. That's when it would have actually made a difference. And by the way, you can all look at yourselves now, because if you did do truly something toxic towards this girl, right? Now, I know she's accused me, but we leave that aside, because I know I'm innocent. She knows deep down I'm innocent as well, right? But if Tom has done this to her, right, I'm going to say out straight, right? This would never have happened if he's had it came down on him in the first place when we exposed him for what he was. So look at yourselves, because you are responsible now for his behavior, because you've let him away with it. He's let him away with it. So each and every single one of you are complicit in what he's done, because you didn't put a stop to him. We were trying to tell you what he was like. Right? Sick of it. Now I have to refresh for a minute. Right, I'm back. Yeah, well, here's the thing. The girl in question has me blocked because she's convinced that I've been behind trolling her and porn pictures and all of this. Now, myself, Lee, and others have proven that it's actually fake troll accounts set up. And I even said they were set up by people on her side that support everything that she supports. I've been telling you, the other side are sick. There are sick people in that other side, right? And they need to be exposed. Now, as I said, I don't know the whole thing of what he said to this girl, right? All I'm just interested in doing is highlighting the fact that this guy now has basically gotten what many of us, well, especially me, he deserves it, right? I'm not going to hide behind the door for all the shit that he put me through. And remember, this was the very same guy that allowed rape shaming comments on NutMyDoctor account against my wife. And when I start exposing that, all his defenders came out and said, all his defenders defended him. They all defended him. Oh no, Noel's the toxic one. Tom isn't the toxic one. Tom is just showing what Noel's all about. As I said, she has me blocked. I don't have her screenshots. I don't know what he has actually said to her. And if she is listening tonight, I would say to you, you know, if you want to send someone to me with those screenshots, please do. Because, you know, I know you've accused me of stuff. I can tell you now, I'm not behind any of that. And I'm telling you now that you've seen what Tom's doing, I would ask you and implore you now to start digging deeper into what you accused me of, and actually go and find who the real culprit is. Because I'm telling you now, I've already proven it without a shadow of a doubt anyway, right? But that was not me, because I don't do that. If I want to call anybody out, I do it live on air, right? I have no problem calling people out. That's the difference between the other side, right? Not behind that. Right, apparently I've got some screenshots. Yeah, but I'm going to check these first and make sure that they're legit. Because I'm not going to put up anything that isn't legit. The person that's sending me all of this stuff is a trusted person. I'm not saying that I don't trust you. All I'm just saying is that I only take, but I will have a look at them. Right, so I do want to show you this statement, because as I said, we've got plenty to go through. This is going to be a long ass video, a long ass stream, I should say. Well, hopefully not that long, but we'll see how it goes. Because there's a lot to go through. As I said, all of those people that I've mentioned, You know, they all came out and supported him. And this is why I wanted to do the video, because this isn't just about Tom, by the way. You know, these people are not getting away with it lightly, because these people are complicit. They should have called him out when we were highlighting what he was capable of, but they didn't. They didn't. Right? So they've only got themselves to blame. So here's a statement. So we found out actually a few months ago, and I just want to say to Who Knew, a Doctor Who podcast, I'm glad you've made the decision that you've made, by the way, because I do know on one or two of the podcasts, maybe not these ones in particular, but I do know that he took some pleasure in trying to have a go at me on them. So in that aspect of it, I'm delighted. So wait, you see this. Wait, you see this, right? So this is a statement, right, from Who Knew, a Doctor Who podcast. Now, forgive that I read this the first time, and the writing's a bit all over the place, so bear with me. So Who Knew was created first and foremost to be a beacon of positivity and inclusivity in this fandom. I nearly pissed myself laughing when I read that, actually. Which we know can be the complete opposite at times. Yeah, because of people like Tom Vance. I know we will all get through this and become a positive and safe space for everybody once more. It already was a safe space for everybody, you moron. See, the thing about it is, you think that Doctor Who fandom wasn't safe for fans. It was for decades, until you idiots all came along and then start screaming and shouting about how you weren't being properly represented. As of today, Tom Vance will no longer be associated with Who Knew, a Doctor Who podcast, or Who Knew, the Collector's Edition. All episodes of Including Tom will be removed from all available platforms immediately. Who Knew, the Collector's Edition will take an indefinite break. So not only that has he, like, you know, screwed himself up, these people now have decided that they're going to take a bit of a break. Also, some of the people that have defended them in the past now are all running off Twitter as well, because apparently they're going to take a break. See, they're all running now. And that's why I'm going to expose them all, because they're not getting away with it. Me, Billy, and everyone else involved with the show will continue to strive to make this fandom and Who Knew an exclusive platform for everyone. Well, it was, as I said, it was an exclusive platform until you platform and social media was great till yous came along. Well, Tom, yous employed them, so yous are complicit in this as well. Everyone has the right to feel safe and have their voice heard, even more so in times of personal crisis. And the bravery shown by those who speak out against this indefensible behavior is unparalleled. So when they said defensible behavior, I was kind of thinking, well, what does that mean? This is time for Tom and all of us to learn and evolve the way we interact and the way we use this platform going forward. Listen, if he's done anything other than just, say, be a nasty piece of shit to a woman, but if there's anything else, and I think you know where I'm going with that, if there's anything else, well, then this isn't the time for Tom to learn and evolve. If he's done anything vile, then he deserves to be exposed and kicked off this platform permanently. Now, you have obviously made that decision. Let's hope you don't go back on that now in a few months' time when you think everything has calmed down, because I will put this video back up to remind you all what you know is going on. But there you go. That's the statement from them. So, interesting. Lee, I'm going to do this video by myself for the simple reason is I don't want to get anybody else involved. You know, for the simple, you know, this is a personal video for me because, you know, I've been put through the ringer with this man. This man has made my life a living hell for the past 6-7 months, especially with his account, with his carry on, with his fakeness, with his troll accounts, and then posting them up as me. You know, this guy has actually done a lot of damage to me and this channel, and he's also done the same with Rabbi. So this is a personal one. This is one I never thought I'd get the opportunity to make a video like this and actually come out and so let me see, because I'm still getting messages as we speak. No, because I don't want to turn this into a, you know, I'm trying to be, look, I know it's kind of personal for me, but I'm actually trying to keep the emotions out of this and just report on what I've gotten. So George shared wherever his name is, the guy that poked fun at me because, you know, he got it into his head because others out there said that I bought the rumor, even though I actually put a disclaimer on the video and I actually put a comment underneath to say that I think the rumor is absolute bullshit. But he wrote a tweet up and he says, today goes to show a lot of things. Trust me, one of them. You never really know someone true and true. And I'm frankly so disappointed and embarrassed to associate myself with this individual in any capacity. A shame, but an important lesson for us all. Funny thing is that this was also liked by our good friend, Mr. Ego, Mr. Baby Ballstreck himself. Isn't it funny how they're all coming together now to kind of condemn Tom when we've already been telling them for the past year? See, when it happens one of their own, then they have to come out and say something. And Tom has left them in a very awkward situation. But I'm not going to let them get away with this that easy. So I just wanted to mention that as well. So we have another one. For all, I won't mention this person, but this is a person that has trolled me and Lee in the past. This is ironic because Lee, I will send you everything that I've been given, actually. And then you could do with it what you want yourself. You can decide what you want to do. If you want to whack it all up on Twitter and then whatever. But what's funny about this, Lee, is that you'll see is that every person that's coming out and making some sort of statement is a person that's went after me, you, or Daniel, or anybody yet. So this is actually funny, Lee. Right, so this person says, for the life of me, I will never understand how these screenshots of Vance bottom right and bottom left were posted 3 days ago, and I didn't see a single person say something about this. Seems wrong. So apparently he put up some... So apparently he was on a video call and he didn't. Our favorite Thomas Ahern. The reason why I'm mentioning this gobshite is because he tried to send naked pictures to me and others in the fandom. He's a little scumbag, so I don't know what he's talking about. Actually, he sent me a picture of his cock. So this is the kind of stuff I get sent. So I hope you are listening. Thomas Ahern, by the way. He's got glasses. His screenshot is he's naked. If you could go and actually report his Twitter account, I'll throw up the photograph later on because he is a dirty little scumbag. He deserves to be cancelled, actually, because he sent me pictures of his private parts. I have decided to unfollow NutMyDoctor because of what I've learned about his behaviour of the person who runs it. Plus, I feel the account has run its course and it's just stating the obvious at this point. You can't say anything. You literally send naked pictures to people. So cancel yourself, you little moron. Here's another one. So sad to hear what's been going on in the fandom recently. I'm disappointed. To those speaking out, we are listening. You are heard. It's too much to ask for this community to be inclusive, respectful, and a decent place for people. Yous are hurting people. Yous didn't hear me. Oh, I forgot. Because I'm a perceived NutMyDoctor, I deserve everything I get. But when it happens to one of yous, it's a different story, isn't it? Now, I do want to read something first. So, the other person that's behind the NutMyDoctor account has come out and had their say. And this will actually make Lee laugh, by the way. Give me a few more minutes, Lee. I might bring it on actually, because I know you've experienced some of this behavior as well, actually. And I suppose I don't want to get into a big rant now. If you come on, we're just talking calmly now. I don't want any rants, right? Or anything like that. Okay? I'll bring it on, but I don't want any rants. This is not about ranting. This is about just me highlighting the hypocrisy of the other side as well. And Tom does have Tom did put up a statement, which I do have. But he did put something else up, which I'm hoping to get my hands on, because he did put two other things up. Right, I'm just looking. Right, so obviously Tyrese is watching because he's threw up a little tweet and he's saying, okay, this is bang out of order. Taking a really disgusting event and turn it into a means to get back at the people you just don't like is awful. No, actually, I'm not doing that. I'm actually exposing your hypocrisy, because I've been telling you and others what Tom has been up to by showing you all the evidence. You choose to ignore it and come out to support him. Okay, I'm not turning a real disgusting event into anything because I don't know all the details anyway. All I know is Tom has been cancelled because he did something to tar this facts, or said something to tar this facts, and said something about other people in the community. So no, it's not bang out of order. See, the problem that you have now is that I've exposed you, just like the rest of them, for defending this guy. Right? So instead of being a little bitch about it and crying about it, why don't you actually come out and apologize for defending this guy in the first place? All right? Instead of coming and having a go at me. As I said, anybody that's defended him, I'm going to call them out. And you're one of them. If you have a problem with that, I don't give a crap. All right? You've defended this guy for over a year. So don't be giving me your bull. That I'm doing. See the way he tries to twist it. I'm turning a disgusting event. I'm not turning anything. I'm exposing the fact that you guys have been supporting this guy and defending this guy, right? And now he's done something really, really bad. Now you are all distancing yourselves away from him, and you think you could just walk away without anything being said to you. Well, I'm sorry, no. You put up that stupid tweet. Right? Because you really have an ego. You really thought that you, Mr. TARDIS, Ace Creeper, and Tom Vance are the voices of this fandom. Well, one is already after being exposed as the creep that he is. Right? So don't be coming at me. I'm not turning nothing into nothing. Right? Do you know what? It's typical of him anyway. It's typical of him anyway. He always tries to turn things in about himself, right? He tries to make it about himself, right? So you stop being disgusting and making it about yourself, right? And you know what? If you were mature, you would admit that you and everybody else. And I don't care if you put a statement there. Where's my apology? I've been telling you this guy has been up to all sorts for the past year. I've even presented evidence. Oh no, that's not Tom. He's making up accounts. But now he did it to someone on your side. You will believe it. So get away, you hypocrite. Get away. Anyway, you're a backstabber, right? Nobody should listen to you anyway. You're another one, a backstabber, right? We've got backstabbers and we've got creepy weirdos, right, on your side of the on your side of the fandom. That's what it is. right? All weirdos, creepy, little, vile, disgusting idiots, right? And some of you are being exposed now, right? And you're just as bad because you're toxic, right? You come out, oh, I'm ending my feud with the Tardazone, but you still have kept it up, haven't you? You can't stop talking about it. And the reason why I'm talking about you tonight, by the way, just to clarify and to make it